Okay. All right. Good afternoon. We're going to call this meeting to order. Ashley, if you will, do a roll call.
Ryan Deathridge.
Here.
Peter Dillingham.
Here.
Randy Gilbert.
Here.
Leonard McCullough.
Here.
Rob Seaman.
Here.
All right. If my math is right, looks like we've got a quorum. Appreciate that. Real quick, let's go ahead and do our Pledge of Allegiance and our flag salute, Oklahoma flag salute, and our moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please join me in the Oklahoma flag salute. I salute the flag of the state of Oklahoma. Its symbols of peace unite all people. Please join me in a moment of silence. Thank you. All right, looks like I get 2 speaking spots right here off the beginning. So definitely thank you guys. Thanks for coming. We're having a special board meeting. Really, the main thing that we need to get through is our appropriations request. So that's why we kind of got into a hustle to have this meeting. If we don't have that done by October 1, we're really in violation with law, but we want to make sure we do everything we can to meet before. So not a big deal there, but thank you guys for being here. A few things I want to point out before we get started. We do have 3 guests. You guys are going to stand and introduce yourselves. They're here working on getting hours and for their master's programs that they're working on. So go ahead and introduce yourself.
Good afternoon. I'm Christy O'Mealy, and I am the STEM Division Program Specialist. Hi, I'm Stacy Dietz, and I'm also in the STEM Division as a Program Specialist.
And I'm Angela Teeman, I'm in STEM Division as well.
Welcome.
Yeah, glad to have all 3 of them working on continuing education. It's great. A few other things I'll mention. A few of us just got back from NCLA. That's an administrators conference that we had in St. Louis. Had a good drive over there. Well, I'll tell you the stories later. It was a good drive, though. It was a great conference. Really brought back a lot for CTE, so we're excited to do that as a lot of our schools were there as well. We right now have one thing I wanted to mention that won't be highlighted probably but we had a virtual healthcare career expo that really our health team put together in partnership with the Hospital Association. Our media team and Russell's team did a great job making that happen. Russell, how many people did we have? You think 1,500 people?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, 1,500 people.
Said 1,700.
1,700 tuned in.
Wow.
And so that was really cool. First time we had done that. Some other states, I think, are doing it when it comes to Missouri had done it. So glad to partner with them and let every student across the whole state see at one time the careers that exist in healthcare. So that was really neat. That just happened. We got to tour when the board meeting didn't make last time. We went ahead and went down to Great Plains, got to see their facility and the FISTA and what the CareerTech there is impacting, bringing jobs to Oklahoma. So that was really good. I wanted to make sure you all were aware of that. And then we, today, Gina was just telling me, you guys, where'd Gina go? Are you hiding? Oh, she has another meeting because they have rules today. They had $99,000 in scholarships they gave out through the foundation, Othogrim Scholarship today. So that's really, really cool that that's happening. And then the last thing that I'll mention is October 16th, we have a board meeting at Mid-Dell, right?
Yes.
Make sure I'm right. At Mid-Dell, they do something unique. It's called CareerTech, where they do training exclusively for Tinker on Tinker Air Force Base. So Ashley will be reaching out, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And if you want to do that tour, if you're coming to that meeting, she has to get you prior clearance. So she'll be working on getting that information. Anything else I need to tell them on that?
I
I
think
should have
that's
just
good.
had you talk. Okay, so you have to get a pass to get on there. So if you're wanting to be a part of that tour after the board meeting, we'll make sure and get that worked out. Any questions? Kind of roll into some work then. All right. First item of business is discussion and possible action on the minutes of the August 21st, 2025 regular board meeting. Those should be in your packet. I'd entertain a motion to approve.
Move for approval.
Good. Second. Thank you, Peter. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, we'll go ahead and call for a vote. Finish.
Mr. Seaman,
Yes.
McCullough,
Yes.
Mr. Gilbert,
Yes.
Mr. Dillingham,
Yes.
Mr. Dethridge.
Yes.
Awesome. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, also in your packet, it was because it was behind my minutes, there's open meetings training if anyone needs that from the Attorney General's office. So that's why that's in there, just for your information. Item number 2 is management information, discussion and first reading of the FY 2026 Career Tech Business Plan. Mr. Russell Ray.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Thanks. Good seeing everybody. Welcome back to Stillwater. We've had a little drama here in Stillwater. If you guys know of anybody who's interested in a coaching job, I think they're taking applications just up the street there. But I am here to talk about the business plan. Now, what it's in your packet. This is a draft. If you see anything that you'd like us to change, just let us know and we can change that. We'll bring it back to you at our next board meeting. Want to start off by going to page 3. Membership in our CareerTech student organization groups is on the rise. We've reported a record high for the 4th consecutive year. CTSO membership is now up to 123,000 members. That's up a whopping 14% versus this time last year. TSA and FCCLA are leading the way on this. TSA recorded a growth of 38% versus last year. FCCLA reported a growth of 15% versus last year. Altogether, the CareerTech system had more than 518,000 enrollments in fiscal 2025. It's about the same that we had last year. We'll be sharing with you in detail those numbers at next month's board meeting when we come to you with our annual report. One of the things that we like to do, we love telling stories with numbers, and we've got a great story to tell. And our performance auditor, Brent Meeks, has done an outstanding job of mining the data and coming up with some real eye-opening statistics about the value of a career in technical education. I'll point to page 3, the 3rd and 5th graphs right there. In fiscal 2024, CareerTech students earned 34,771 industry certifications compared to 38,290 higher ed diplomas. Now those numbers seem real similar, but the difference is in the cost. The average debt carried by a CareerTech student was just $15.34 per certification. And compare that to an average debt of $16,000 per higher ed diploma. That's not a small difference. It's a life-changing thing for many students and their families. The same pattern can be found in tuition costs. CareerTech students paid $32.9 million in tuition costs in 2024, while tuition costs for higher ed students totaled more than $1.5 billion. So those are real eye-opening stats, really demonstrates the value and the importance of a CareerTech education, gives people a lot more options. The momentum is on our side. More people are recognizing this. The White House has recognized that career and technical education, we need to do a better job of providing more programs. And so the momentum is now, and we're trying to take advantage of that. And these numbers kind of tell that story. Let us go to, well, still on page 3. Well, I'm sorry, yeah. Page 3, yeah. We have a story about a great partnership between Caddo Kiowa Technology Center and Western Farmers Electric Co-op. As many of you know, Western is Oklahoma's largest locally owned power provider. They serve about 550,000 residents in rural Oklahoma, New Mexico, and parts of Texas and Kansas. And so Western and Caddo Kiowa joined forces to create 33 customized training sessions for more than 570 employees. And that is truly a great example of what we do here on a regular basis in workforce development. This is one of several business spotlights that me and my team put together. It's a great example of what we're doing in WED, Max's team. On page 5, we have a great series. It's one of the best things that we do in communications and marketing. We have a series called CareerTech Champions. And on page 5, we have a story on Caitlin Kirksey from Edmond Public Schools. This story is, as I said is from our series on CareerTech Champions. Caitlin joined FCCLA as a freshman in high school. And it was that experience with FCCLA that led her on a journey to become a teacher, specifically an FCS teacher. Caitlin said, FCCLA taught me the value of teamwork, problem solving, and the importance of diverse perspectives. And that's what CTSOs are all about. It's not just about learning a trade, it's about learning how to work as a team and how to successfully collaborate with other organizations. Continuing that, we have 2 more CareerTech Champions stories to show you on page 7 and 6. I can get there. On page 6, we feature another CareerTech champion, Tyler Roberts. Tyler's journey to become a very successful video and photo production company began a long time ago at Green Country Technology Center. He credits Green Country and BPA for giving him the tools and the mindset to turn his skills into a successful and sustainable career. Moving on to page 7, we have another CareerTech champion, Elizabeth Worley. This is a great story. Elizabeth is a product of Western Technology Center. Elizabeth was a high school dropout, but at the age of 20, she completed her GED and then enrolled in Western's practical nursing program in Burns Flat. That's where Elizabeth discovered and cultivated her passion for patient care. Today, Elizabeth is the program director at Cordell Memorial Hospital's Senior Life Solutions, which focuses on mental health for seniors. Elizabeth is a nationally certified psychiatric mental health nurse and is currently pursuing a nurse practitioner degree at Duke University with plans to earn a doctorate of nursing practice degree by 2028. So again, the CareerTech Champion Series is something we do on a regular basis. It does a great job of telling the great story of CareerTech and the value of a career in technical education. Moving on to page 8. This is our director's column. This particular column editorial op-ed ran on the front page of the Tulsa World. Does a great job. There's a lot of stuff being reported about Oklahoma education that we're ranked number 50th, but there are also a lot of great things that are going on here in Oklahoma education, and CareerTech is one of those. And Director Haken and I collaborated on this column in an effort to get that story out and tell everyone that there's a lot of good things going on in education. One of those things is Oklahoma CareerTech. That's essentially the business plan. This is a small sample of what the communications and marketing team does. CareerTech is blessed with a very effective marketing machine. In addition to what the agency does, we have a statewide marketing group that puts out a lot of great content. The tech centers put out a lot of great marketing content. A lot of industries say they need to do a better job of telling their story. But in most cases, they're not willing to put up the resources or the funding. We do. CareerTech has provided the marketing professionals around here great resources, a lot of support, a lot of funding to get the word out about CareerTech and what we have to offer. We're adding a lot of programs to boost enrollment, but a lot of that growth doesn't happen without good marketing. And we've got a great team statewide. We've got a great team here at the agency. We got a great team in the statewide marketing group and at all the tech centers. And we work very closely to get the word out about what we have to offer Oklahomans. So with that, if you have any questions, I'd be happy to give it a shot.
Great job.
All
Thank
right.
you, Russell. This story on page 7, I mean, all the stories are great, but that story on page 7 takes somebody from a dropout to where she is now.
Yeah, it's a
It's
great
been,
story.
been very popular.
Thank you.
And that is the first reading, so we're going to continue to go through here as well before we bring it back. One of the things that we'll update is that appropriation request. We talk about that, but is there any comments on that before we move forward?
Very well, doing your thing.
They got a shout out from OMES even. What was that recently, today or yesterday about the website?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Let me go back.
Yeah, tell them about that.
I'm pretty excited about that. We've been working years on this. We had a really bad website about 5-6 years ago. Didn't do much with it. We got some funding and built a new website. Been working on it for years, and we were kind of credited. Oh, I'm sorry. We were credited just the other day by a big shot at OMES about how our website, the CareerTech website, is the best among all state agencies. Best in terms of content, best in terms of branding consistency, best in terms of appearance, and it's very user friendly. And that credit belongs to Karen Hart and all of the web techs we have in each division. They work together in posting that content on a regular basis. We have one of the largest state agency websites out there, if not the largest. So takes a big team to keep that going. Our page views around 300,000 a month right now. So it's a testament to what Karen has done and what our content authors have done. Thanks for the plug.
Thank you. Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Seeing no further discussion, I'll go ahead and move forward. On the back of the agenda, item 3 is management action. Item 3.01 is discussion possible action on the FY27 appropriations request. The reason why we pushed to get this meeting in, so I wanted to spend some time here. I'll first start by saying we're being pretty bold and aggressive in the way we've built this draft out. Ultimately, that's up to you, what this looks like moving forward and how we proceed. But as I would present that, I want you to ask questions, give thoughts as we move through, because I'm going to do the same as we work through that, and then may have to even call on people that have more brains than I do, aka Lisa. So. All right, starting off, we'll start with the 26 general appropriation. That's what we got. And so that's where our starting point is. Where are we going from there? Now realize that as we look at that $175 million, that is 3% of the budget between the big 3 education entities, higher ed, K-12, and ourselves. We are 3% of the budget currently. And we could go over any of that you want, but that's where we're starting. The first item is the easy part, the 1.3 million. That is the request for flex benefit allowance that we are required by statute to fill. And the legislature has been good enough to make sure that they continue to fill that as it increases. The main reason why we will have increases this year is growth. So as we add instructors, we'll need more flex benefit to cover those costs. We hope that we don't see increasing health insurance costs, but that's probably going to happen as well. It doesn't ever seem to go the other way. So that one's easy. After that, the workforce training is the big number in this request, $31,650,000. That was $41,650,000 last year. We got a $10 million appropriation increase last year, and what I've been telling the legislature is we've been asking for the same amount for 3 years. We really believe that that's what we need to make the difference. We're on track to reach 40,000 full-time students in 2 more years. We've made significant gains. Even I didn't think that we might get there, but we're getting a lot closer than I anticipated. We've served This year, it looks like our early numbers from our surveys to our superintendents, we're up about 3,000 students again this year. So it's really excited to see that. That's what this number is to represent, is how we get the next branch of our goal. Some of that wording may need to be looked at, and how do we do that? Because that was over the next 5 years. That started 2 years ago, I think, the first time we put it on this document. So maybe we need to look at that. And maybe we don't need to put the 41,650 minus the 10 million. But that's the first item that we probably need to discuss. Any thoughts there?
We need workforce.
We do.
And the only way we get there is training, because it appears all, I mean, we know to have a workforce, they have to be trained, they have to meet the needs that are asked and the needs that are required, so.
Thought long and hard about even increasing it, because what I really, I don't want to ask for too much, but it seems to be the game in the legislature to ask for more than you need and then get cut. Horse trading at its best. But we have been consistent in that number, so I would, whatever you guys think is right as we move forward. But my approach is to stay consistent with what we've asked in that aspect.
I think having the 41 in there minus 10 is very transparent. So, I mean,
That's my hope.
where you started and where you need to be.
That's my hope. Okay. I'll keep moving forward, and then if you have more questions, that would be great. The next line item is the K through 12 Career Tech program support. That is for the other side. The first one is more tech center focused on full-time. This is about our students that are in our K-12s and not necessarily in a tech center. 2 years ago, we asked for $3.5 million, and we were given that. And I told the legislature, I'm not going to come back and ask you, I'm going to make sure that works. And it did. And we added 200 and, what are we, probably 270 programs now. I don't know, Corey, if you remember a number. Oh, it's close there. Two something new programs we added. Well, we're out of money now. So if we're going to continue to add, we're going to need more money. And that's what this is for. And then also, Blaine, I don't know if I'm out of range or if it keeps blinking red. When I hit it, it turns back green. So I'll just keep doing it.
You can have mine.
So when we've looked at our program money that also goes to support the K-12, so we send $411 and $412 is the most common funding that we send to them. $411 is for their supplemental salary, so it's a $2,200 or $2,600 check that the school gets for that teacher's behalf to make sure that they're a part of CareerTech. They also get 412 funding, which is the support that we give to buy materials for your program. One of the biggest increases in need, in my opinion, and as we've gone through this with different program leads and with the leadership team, is our 411. So making sure that the teachers know, first and foremost, they're part of the CareerTech family, and then secondly, supporting them for the extra requirements that we have. We require them to come to a lot of professional development. We make sure that they have a lot of reports on top of that turned in. So I'm trying to increase that, depending on how many new programs we add, how much, but I'd like to see a $1,000 to a $1,500 increase per teacher. And that would work as an extra duty contract to those teachers. And we would be able to make sure that they are meeting our requirements to get that. Not just throw them another $1,000, but did you turn in your SESI report on time? Did you turn in your teaching and salary report on time? Then you could qualify for that extra incentive. So that's one thing that we've looked at doing, and all that together, we'd estimate about $5.5 million to add the programs that we need to add and increase the $411.
Makes sense.
Questions or thought? Thank you. Okay.
Certainly need that.
Yep. The Technology Center expansion incentive. This number may need to change. So I presented this to our this whole budget to our technology superintendents, technology center superintendents, and then several of the superintendents in the K-12 system. Along the way, we've talked. This number is designed as a one-time, so you'll see underneath it, career exploration, a one-time request. That's in the wrong place. It needs to move up here to the technology center expansion incentive, and it's supposed to be a one-time. The purpose of that is to get communities an incentive to vote in to be a part of a tech center. So we still have a lot of white space. People that are not part of a tech center don't get service. So we started this with the one-time funding, and it worked really, really well. As schools voted in, they got $250,000 to that technology center to start serving students right away. Because if you just wait on tax dollars, ad valorem dollars, you're a year behind. And you won't be able to start that program as quickly as if we could give them a one-time incentive to jumpstart. That was received very well. Of course, that was one-time money, so we are out of that. We gave out $2 million in that way, and now we'll come back and ask the technology center superintendents and then the K-12s have all agreed that that's probably not enough, that it really needs to be double. So their thought was it needs to be $10 million request, because what you can do then is as schools come in, you may have enough dollars to actually put the program in full. So it costs about $267,000 to run a program, but if you have to build out space, it costs more. So an example would be Grant County. Grant County is a whole county that is possibly discussing, would we like to come in or would we not? Well, they would need a building or use one of the existing buildings there remodeled to serve those students, because it's a whole county, like what we're doing in Beaver County. There's a whole county that came on. You're now an hour and a half away from the other campus. You can't bus them there. It's too far away. So that would probably put enough money together that we could put a one-time grant together and get you something started before your tax money could do it, and not have to wait 5 or 6 years after you voted on it to happen. So that's a good thought. I'd be open to discussion on what you all think. We have about $32 million left on the table that is not being paid in ad valorem by white spaces annually. So I'd like to be more aggressive in showing them what's available to be a part of a tech center, and then they support the system as a whole, and it's more bang for your buck for everybody when that happens.
Would it be possible to get a record of how this has worked in the past? I think that's like, as I'm looking at it, it sounds like a great idea, and obviously we don't want, blind spots in the state. We want every citizen to be able to have something remotely close, but I think it would help us as a board sell it and understand it better. If you said, in the last 2 years, here's the areas where we've done this, and here's what's going on in those areas now.
Absolutely. So yeah, and just for your knowledge, to look at this and then vote later, Beaver County, where we started that, and we gave $250,000 per school, so you're giving $1 million to them, and now they have increased their operational budget at High Plains Technology Center by almost $2 million a year. So it jump-started that service where they have 4 programs already in before they were getting tax dollars for that. So it showed your people, your patriots that voted on that no, we're gonna do what we said we were gonna do, and so you don't have to wait. Your kid's a senior, they still may have an opportunity. Your kid's a junior. Sorry, thanks for voting, but we didn't catch yours. That's the hope, is that you can get out there in front. We were not able to keep doing that when some of the others came on, or weren't able to do it prior to that when we didn't have the money, but it would have been a great start for like a Thomas Fay Custer when they came on, and they generate a little over $1 million annually to Chisholm Trail School. But that first year, you're almost a year and a half when their vote was before you ever got any of those dollars coming in. So it's just a way to, okay, let's put a welding teacher in place so that we can take some of those students down. Yeah, I can definitely give you that information, both financially and then how many students are benefiting from it. Cool.
Director, did you have any sustainability issues that you were aware of? Like, or did any of the schools have sustainability issues after we did that injection?
That's a great question, and no, because the ad valorem will take the place of it. So we built it out in a way to be close to what the average cost per program was, and knowing that most of these rural schools, it's not perfect. That's the problem. You're looking at equity across the system. In Western Oklahoma, you may need to add 1 program worth, but if you took on a larger area, you may need to add more. So was it enough? That would be my biggest question. Was it enough to get them started? $250,000 per school site may have not been enough. But sustainability, yes. The ad valorem has greater than what we gave. So
That's what I just didn't know if that ad valorem actually kicked in enough to.
yeah, it did. Now, there was about a 6-month gap in a few of those schools because of the timing of the vote, for what you would think as an annual return, but it has now caught up. Yep.
Thank you.
Thoughts there? Again, the recommendation from the committees I brought this to after we drafted it was to take that to 10. It is a one-time, and part of what their reasoning was, that's a one-time, not something that's continual. The rest of this being continual budget, that one's just a one-time. Any thoughts on what you would like to see?
We need to fill those white spaces.
Yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm.
It's a fair request, I think, 10.
so,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm going to put it down as 10. If you have opposition to that, let me know, but I'm going to put it down as 10 right now. Career exploration. This is something brand new that we've been talking about for a few years in the way that we're doing it. Not new that how CareerTech has always done career exploration, and the STEM division we have 3 of here today. That's what they really do the most of. All of our divisions do some career exploration, but we have not done a good job of figuring out how can we get out in front of more people in a sustainable way without asking the legislature for more dollars each year to reach the masses of students. Well, you've seen models now of what TAP has looked like at Woodward, what Program Explore looks like at Central Tech, and there are some others going in where they are, as a tech center, offering some services, and then the schools are buying in as well, and they're sharing that. They can get some services out in younger grades to show them what the careers, the options really do look like. So we need to expand that. This is not a already earmarked for a tech center versus a K-12. So there may be ways that we can make that work for both. But it has been a continual request of the legislature to reach into younger grade levels and make sure that younger students know what we're offering, know how do they get down that route, not get into the wrong program. That's one of the biggest problems we have at a full-time training level is they get in the wrong thing. And then they realize 6 months into it, I wish I'd have been in something else. I wish I was in carpentry instead of AutoCAD or whatever it is, or I wish I was electrical instead of plumbing. These programs help them identify their true interest earlier and has, at the end, saved dollars and made it more efficient for people getting the right places. So if we wanted to truly build out how we do tech center reach in and K-12 partnerships with those models, we're going to have to put some funding behind it. And so that was my thought when building this out is the legislature is the one that's saying we need to do it. If you want us to do it, here's what it's going to take to do it. If you don't want us to do it, that's fine. We'll continue on what we're doing. So that's my thought behind the 15.5 million in career exploration.
Is there a, Director, is there a community, so I understand what you're saying about the career tech
Mhm.
in the school, but I think there's an element that I'm not sure how to fund, but it's that community involvement or an organization that is mentorship,
It's perfect.
that local leaders in the industry
Mhm.
in general are mentoring through that. And I don't know what that looks like, but
No, it's really good.
I think there's a piece of that, and I'm not sure how to fund that. I don't know how to put a price on that, but if they're wanting it, I'd say ask for a little more. I
Yeah.
say it, but because
Not a bad idea.
it's going to cost something to do that, and especially if you roll out a different program that ties in some kind of community involvement or some kind of
So what you're
trying to get in the
Yeah, what you're mentioning is a great point that ties into what the state was meaning to do with ICAP. So as ICAP, Individual Career Academic Planning, what that was meant to do is to foster along a student's development from 6th grade all the way through 12th and provide them with real work-based learning experiences and mentorships along their journey to figure out what I do and what I do not like. It was never done great because there was no resources behind it. And so you just added that to counselors and to teachers on top of what they already do. So our K-12 partners do a lot of that. And this is a way that we could help them make that happen and provide some guidance from the tech center side to know, okay, these are the real jobs, because we have advisory committees that are local people that make up what the jobs look like in this area. So we could better maybe advise them on how ICAP could be handled. That's the thought. I don't have the perfect, you're exactly in line with me because I don't know the perfect way of doing it yet either. But I know it's going to take a lot of resources to do it. And that was the problem with ICAP in the first place, is it didn't have any resources behind it.
Is that money for marketing and
No, that's to pay for those people that will be going out into those schools. So it's to staff in a regional way or in a district way, the people that are those counselors and those guiders and those people that are serving as career exploration specialists, they're all different titles across the state of what they're doing. It is really to get to school and then them to carry out.
So if it's for staffing, is it really a one-time thing though?
No, that's what I'm saying. That one time is supposed to be on the one above.
Okay.
Yep, that a one-time request is on the wrong thing.
Got it.
You're going to give me a different microphone, Blaine?
So this would be for staffing people that will better communicate CareerTech's capabilities to people in 6 through 12 generally.
Thank you, Blaine. Yes,
Yes.
Yep. Okay. So yes, and maybe more. But you have the thought right that it's for people to get out there and show them what's really available. They may see those students every day. For a school to receive the money, they're going to have to prove that they're doing that. That's one of the things that we made sure and happen through our funding formula. Prove to us that you're making it happen, and then we will give you the money in more of a reimbursement fashion. We don't like to do a lot of upfront money, kind of like we do WED and our full-time funding. Show us you're going to do it, then we'll give you the dollars. So that's the way we would proceed with this one as well.
So, and I remember we talked about this at a previous board meeting, but the belief is that CareerTech is this amazing opportunity that yet a lot of students still don't know about.
Most don't. Yeah.
And if they knew about it, it would help them get into the right program, and this would also help them to not choose the wrong program or something that
Absolutely.
they're not interested in.
Yeah, what you bring up is the point that we make on our fast facts, and we'll have that again next month. But 45% of 9th through 12th graders come through us, so 55 don't. Okay, 34% of our 5th through 8th graders get exposure to CareerTech, but 66 don't. So we've got to reach more people, and really where we've got to reach is where those larger, more dense populated areas. Rural Oklahoma, we're doing pretty good job of making sure that people know what's available. Not perfect, so we've got room to grow there. But in urban Oklahoma, we are really struggling and still having high dropout rates, people not understanding what opportunities are available. If we're going to move our state forward, it's my belief that labor participation rate is directly linked to the motivation they have in middle school and junior high. They need to know where they're going and what's available to them. So that's the thought.
One other question, sorry.
No, great.
This may be a little off topic, but is it possible that a student would like to take a CareerTech class, but we've got some regulations for graduation that say you've only got so many slots and you have to take these courses, and if they took a carpentry class, you would be learning practical math, but you're not learning calculus, and it says you got to learn calculus if you want to graduate or do this. I'm just wondering if there's any, and this may be a future topic, but I'm just wondering if some of those students would like to take a class, but they can't fit it in,
Absolutely. So to give you the real example of that, to use myself, in 2000, we switched graduation requirements, and I was not able to enroll in a tech center because I was an athlete and I was in ag. So even though I wanted to be in a welding program, I could not because I needed to get enough credits to graduate, and they had to be in specific areas. Prior to that, carpentry could count as a math. Welding could count as a math, and then we took that away. 2 years ago, we passed legislation and we brought it back. So we're in a good place. The problem is it's a 5-year phase in. So students that are juniors and seniors right now or sophomores right now, their parents are going to have to opt them in. And to be real blunt, the hard part is the schools, K-12 schools, have been told not to because of implementation guides at STE. So we're working through how that can happen and how to better educate. There are some obstacles to make sure that we are meeting all the requirements we need to meet, but the law is in place to do exactly what you're talking about. We're pretty proud of what we got done there, and it's to make sure that every student knows their path and where they can be successful. So everything is in place. We just have to get this fully implemented. We do believe there is a slight language change that we can make in the law, and we will advocate for this year. We actually did it last year, but it got vetoed. That would make it more accessible for all students. So I think we'll see that change, and then SDE will be more willing to help adapt that. And we're building through that process right now. So that's exactly the direction that we've gone, is because we're seeing a time in Oklahoma and the nation where more people are going to need to go to a trades route or a skilled labor route. And like Russell went over the numbers, they can't do that with a lot of debt. So we can serve them, but they can't be held up in high school. And that's been a barrier. It's been a real big barrier because I shouldn't say nobody, very few people need Algebra 2, but it's been a requirement forever.
Yeah.
And with AI coming in, it's going to do all your Algebra 2 anyway. So quit worrying about that. What you need to know how to do is read a tape measure. What you need to know how to do is to calculate Ohm's law so you don't burn my house down when you're wiring. Those things are important. But those are changing. The law's in place. We're moving the right direction. I think this session will get even stronger. It'll be better.
Can I just say for the record, you mentioning being in high school in 2000 made me feel really old.
My bad.
Yeah. Let's not say that anymore.
Director, just for clarification on my part, I'm going to show my stupidity a little bit here. This 58 million that we're looking at here, and we referenced counselors inside the schools that they're working directly with the kids,
They are.
correct?
Mhm.
Is there a mechanism in place for CareerTech to work with and recruit business owners to be that mentor, to come in and sponsor those young men and women that are looking for those kind of careers, and to tie that all together?
There is. Connect to Business works through Oklahoma Career Guide. It's a platform, but one of the problems that we did when we took that on, and it's not perfect. No platform is perfect. We didn't put resources behind that and a team at that time to get out into the schools and communicate. We've done that now. So we've changed our career counseling division to bring on the regional coordinators as well. So I shifted some people from a division, and now that is their job, to serve like program specialists for counselors. And so they're out in schools many days of the week to show them how that's going to work and how you can build that team. What this will help do is link the resources from the tech center, not just the agency, to the K-12 school. So we really have it full circle. We don't currently. We kind of have an oval or something, if you will.
Okay.
So you're on the right line. That's what we're trying to do, build that out.
Okay, so we're building that out to have people that will work with business owners.
Yes, because the tech centers do.
Okay.
So the tech centers do, the K-12s, to some degree do, and really when it's our programs, they do a good job. But the counselors and the principals usually don't have a great network of businesses. That's what we've got to bring to them. And it also goes hand in hand with what we've done with apprenticeships. So it kind of works together with what apprenticeships are, but not every experience has to be a full-blown apprenticeship. It can just be mentorship. So that's what we want to bring together, is let all of that be a connected partnership. Going to take some dollars to do that, but I think we can do it pretty inefficiently and make a big difference across the state. So got to take some of the work off the counselors. We're killing K-12 counselors right now.
Okay, thank you.
One thing that's not in this request, and we can continue to talk about the 15.5, I had planned to, as we're building out apprenticeships, continue to pull a percentage from the workforce training dollars. That is something we could add separately if we thought it was needed. I am hoping to get to a point, I'm going to try to do it with grants first, where we can put $3 million to an apprenticeship coordinator in every tech center, so they can help the school at the K-12 sending schools know how to use those experiences and help adults know how to use those experiences, so they could work both sides. We have apprenticeship coordinators in about 7 tech centers right now. I'd like to get it at every tech center, and they're kind of footing their own bill right now, which is okay if they can, but not all can. So that's not directly in here. We are pulling out currently 1.5 out of our appropriations that we get each year to fund apprenticeships. We did that from our one-time request, and we will likely continue that, especially if we get more dollars, but it's not a separate line item if anyone is confused about apprenticeships. Okay. So any thoughts on career exploration and or apprenticeships, if you want to see anything different on those, the way that we're doing those two? It's a lot to think about.
Director, if you had a ballpark figure what it would take to actually fully fund those programs from the career tech side? What kind of, just ballpark it?
Those partnerships that we're
Yeah.
talking about, I believe it would take, so like I said, the $3 million, I think I can build out most of the network. And then I think it's going to take another 1.5, so 4.5 together is what I think, in addition to what we've got to fully build that out.
So you want to move that to 20? That's
Well-
4.5.
Yeah. Would we want to title it different or just leave it under the same line item? I'm good either way, because I think I can explain it to the legislature. We could sure move it to 20.
Well, you're the one doing the explaining, so which way would be the easiest for you to go, you think?
I think leaving it together, they understand what it means. As long as you guys understand that, we'll probably pull some of that out for a coordinator at the schools, and I mean, that's how I do everything anyway. As long as you guys know, I want to be transparent about what we're hoping to do if we get the money. Is I'm going to pull out $3 million for a coordinator for each school, and then we'll fund the actual platform on the other side. So I would just move it to 20. I think it's a great idea. So what we've done so far, to recap, is we've increased the draft on the Technology Center expansion incentive from 5 million to 10 million, the career exploration from 15.5 to 20. That would, gosh, I'd have to do some math. So we're up 4.5 and 5, 9.5 over that 58 million, which I believe is fine. I had a legislator tell me at a what were we at, a panel discussion, and somebody asked the legislator, what does CareerTech need to do to get an investment? They said, ask for $100 million. Well, I'm below that, so we're doing okay.
I think one of the huge awareness issues for Oklahoma CareerTech the last year for sure has been this off of a whim, the OERB commercials. Just the awareness, so my point with that is these champion stories are phenomenal. So that helps us whenever we go into the public, as long as we've had Oklahoma CareerTech in the last year and a half, I've had more people ask me about Oklahoma CareerTech. They're like, what all do you guys do?
Micro was good to us.
So I really think it's just an awareness issue, and there's still some out there, and I'm a little bit guilty of that. Say, well, CareerTech's a great thing, but what about Votech? What happened to them? So we kind of got to keep evolving. So these stories are great, Russell. Your team, the Micro deal was phenomenal. So I think the more we have awareness, and that certainly goes to the career exploration. So, that helps us move forward.
Yes.
And so, yeah, this is very good.
Good.
When does this get finalized?
Now, so that's what we're doing at this board meeting, is it will be finalized and submitted to the legislature. Yeah, the first draft was at the meeting we missed. That would have been a finalization too, but the meeting prior to that was our first draft where you guys saw this, and now we've put some thought and brought it to committees. That's where I brought you an update from the committees I met with. And so now you make your decision. And then what it would do is I'll go through a presentation with the Senate and a presentation with the House and a presentation with the governor's team, and they will all get to review this.
Got it.
I wish it was as easy as we just decided what we got.
But in those meetings, let's just say one of those three parties, Senate, Governor, or House, said, I feel really strongly about what you all are doing. Your return on investment is phenomenal. I don't think you're asking for enough. They can make adjustments to
Absolutely.
it, right? They could say, hey, you need to go back in and add 25 million to this category or whatever. So it's not written in stone until even early next year.
It's May, end of May when it's final. That's when we get the general appropriation. So,
Okay.
and there'll be a lot of working in between now and then of what may happen to this. What has to happen by law is you have to approve a budget that we present, and then I defend that as we go through the legislative process. So we can approve, or I could entertain a motion however you would like to move forward. If you'd like to move forward with the edits that we have presented, we could do that, or if you'd like to have more discussion, we're welcome to do that as well. Definitely don't want to rush anyone through this, but if you feel good and comfortable, I'm ready when you are.
Director, I'll make a motion that we accept this with the edits and that was recommended from the floor today.
Okay, we have a motion on the table to approve the appropriations request from FY27 with the amendments to the Technology Center expansion incentive to $10 million request, and note that that is a one-time request, and also with the career exploration moving to $20 million request, but striking a one-time request. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Don't be afraid if there is some discussion. Seeing no discussion, I'll call for a vote.
Mr. Dethridge,
Yes.
Mr. Dillingham,
Yes.
Mr. Gilbert,
Yes.
Mr. McCullough,
Yes.
Mr. Seaman,
Yes.
Thank you. And it's an ongoing conversation. If you guys have questions about how it's moving, sorry, I got to get into this mic. It looks awkward, but I'm just trying to get everybody to hear. But we're happy to answer questions if you have questions along the way. We'll start putting data behind all this, even though we have it, and that's the way we'll present it as we go through the legislature. And we'll update you on those meetings that we have with the legislature as well when we move forward. Kind of like I'll tell you when the hearings are and let you, if you want to tune in from where you are, those will all be live streamed as we go through. Okay, item 3.02 is discussion and possible action on FY26 lottery grants. Pretty exciting. Got some things going on, some extra money to give away, so we'll let Corey Gray do that. You're going to need this.
It's okay. I can just leave it here. Good afternoon. Thank you all for coming up today. We really appreciate it, more than you know. I have had the opportunity to talk about the lottery grants now for 7.5, 8 years. And you've heard the spiel. You approved the grants in the spring, how we traditionally pay out the grants in arrears. It's been done like that, almost 20 years from the beginning of lottery, just because there was a year after the initial rollout of lottery grants to where the state did not fund the amount completely. And that actually happened 2 years in a row, 2006 and 2007. And at that point in time with CareerTech, we learned our lesson. We're like, nope, okay, this is not going to work. Let's make sure we have the money in the bank. Well, since 2007, we've had a steady flow of income as far as lottery grants are concerned. What we have run into is backing into the date to when all of the funds have to be allocated, claimed, and then we are reimbursed from the state. And so we've gotten pretty close to the deadline a few years, and I've talked to Brent and I've talked to Lisa about, seeing what changes we could make. And we're proposing that we come off of the arrears format and go on to a basically on-time format, which would actually allow us to put more money in the field right now. So we have $1.6 million that we have the ability to put back out into the community, into the field on the tech center side. And then I will also bring to you later on what we would like to do for the K-12 side. In your packet, you'll see the requests that were submitted and not approved for the competitive grant. When we're working with the tech center, we have a competitive grant to where these are the remaining funds that the tech centers can use to work on projects. And then there's a non-competitive side to where a tech center knows they're getting an exact amount every other year. So that's been the process. In front of you, you have the listing of proposals that were submitted and not approved last spring. You can see there, I believe there's 17. And the grant amount is for 50,000. You can see the original request amount. With many of those requested amounts, the tech center has said we will put in the matching funds to come up to, to the full amount for the amount requested. So what I'm asking for you all to do is to look through this, determine if it's feasible for us to come off of the current format that we're on, which is bringing money in and then sending it out in arrears, and moving towards putting it on a real-time basis. So when we come to you in the spring, we'll actually be using that fiscal year's money to allocate awards moving forward. Any questions?
So board members, just to kind of sum that up, and she did a great job explaining that, but we've got an extra bucket of money. We're getting consistent in the money coming in, so we've got an extra bucket of money. There's no reason to sit on it. Let's give it out so that we can get back on a current cycle. So in layman's terms, let's go ahead and give more time for the dollars to be used. So let's just spend what we've got. And so what you've got now is we can go ahead and start pretty quick because we know the tech centers had requests that we couldn't fund. So let's go ahead and finish those out, and then we'll work on the K-12 side. That takes a little more time for Corey and her team because there's a lot more schools to go through, a lot more programs. So she can continue to work on that with her teams, but we could go ahead and get this money moving. That would be my recommendation.
So with the new process, you'd still be sending out money that you've actually already collected.
Yes. So we've already collected it. We're just not waiting another 6 months because we're going to get another allocation when we normally do this.
Got it.
So that way we get the old money dispersed, then we have the new money come in, and we're in a better timeline than saying, okay, you got 3 months to get this spent. So that's not the real timeline, but this will be better so that they have time to plan and get adjustments made if costs go up and they need to adjust, they can. So let's not be sitting on this money. Let's get it in action.
Move to approve the request.
Motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
You can pick who got that second. Okay.
All right.
Any discussion? Okay, go ahead and call for a vote.
Mr. Seaman,
Yes.
Mr. McCullough,
Yes.
Mr. Gilbert,
Yes.
Mr. Dillingham,
Yes.
Mr. Dethridge.
Yes.
Thank you.
Easy enough. Thank you, Corey. We'll be bringing some more to you when we get the K-12 side figured out, and we'll dole that money out, and we'll be back in cycle without that extra pot of money. For the final agenda item, I'm gonna steal that for a minute in case they can't hear me. Yell, my voice is going or something. Is discussion and possible action to enter executive session pursuant to Authority 25 Oklahoma Statute 2021 307B1 for the purpose of discussing the employment, hiring, or appointment of an individual salaried public employee for the position of Director of School Accountability, including but not limited to the compensation, job duties, and performance expectations. And this is presented by myself. So we can go into executive session, or we could stay in open session and discuss this position. I don't really care. That's up to you guys how we do that. But my recommendation, just so that everyone knows, is to move Brent Meeks, who's been our performance auditor, into that position and take over the accreditation process and what we do with school accountability as we build that out more robust. Try to share some of that with you. We are hoping to this legislative session take more authority over our schools where the K-12 system is not governing their school calendar and some other pieces of the school accountability process, where we can do that as our agency because we oversee those schools and accredit them anyway. So there's not really a need for a school calendar to run through another agency at SDE. So as we take that on, I think with Mr. Meek's experience, he could make that happen. But if you want to go to an executive session, we need a vote to do so.
I'm fine, open session. Will we be backfilling his current position?
No, we will not. He's going to add that to his duties at this time.
Okay.
It's real fun, isn't it, Brent? So the reason this has to come before you is not only is it a new position that we haven't had, but also because it'll be a pay band 17, which all of those at 17 and above come before the board.
So what's the net increase between its current pay band and?
5,000-6,000. I'm trying to remember now. No, more than that, because you're at a 15. About 8,000, yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Move for approval.
Okay, we have a motion to approve Brent Meeks being appointed as the Director of School Accountability at a pay band 17. Is there a second? We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing no discussion, let's call for a vote.
Mr. Dillingham,
Yes.
Mr. Gilbert,
Yes.
Mr. McCullough,
Yes.
Mr. Seaman,
Yes.
Mr. Dethridge.
Yes.
All right. Motion passes. And do we have any new business? Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn?
Motion, do we have a second? Second? We call for a vote.
Sorry.
Nope, sorry.
Mr. Dethridge.
Yeah.
Mr. Seaman,
Yes.
Mr. McCullough,
Yes.
Mr.
Yes.
Mr. Dillingham.
Yes.
Awesome. Done.
You for a good meeting.
Yeah, if you were ever wondering,